The snow was falling slowly over the quiet town of Skarju, deep in the mountains. Everything was white and cold. Most people stayed inside their homes, near the fire. Shops were closed early because the roads were frozen. It was midnight when Ryan, a 19-year-old boy, was checking the security cameras of his father's grocery shop. His father had gone to sleep. Ryan was bored and drinking tea when he saw something strange on the screen. There was a girl, moving fast in the snow. She had no jacket, no gloves, nothing warm to wear. Her feet were bare. She walked like she was lost, but her eyes were glowing blue. Ryan leaned closer to the screen. The girl looked around, then entered the back door of the shop. She moved quickly, almost like a shadow. She took some biscuits, a bottle of water, and a few packets of dry fruits. Then she ran back outside into the snow. Ryan's heart was racing. "Who is she?" he whispered. "And how is she not freezing?" He grabbed his coat and rushed outside. The night was cold. The snow made soft sounds under Ryan's boots. He followed the girl's footprints, which were light and strange, almost not human. The prints led him towards the old cabins near the edge of the forest. Nobody lived there anymore. Behind one cabin, he saw movement. Ryan stepped slowly. Then he saw her. The girl was sitting behind the cabin, her back against the wall, her arms wrapped around herself. She was shaking, breathing fast. Her face was pale, and her long hair was wet with snow. Ryan took a step forward and spoke gently. "Hey, are you okay?" The girl looked up fast, her blue eyes glowing again for a second. She looked scared. "Please," she said in a soft voice, "don't call anyone. Don't tell anyone I'm here." Her voice was not normal. It was calm, clear, but had a strange tone like music. Ryan sat down slowly, showing her he was not dangerous. "I saw you on the camera," he said. "You were stealing food. I was hungry," she said. "I'm not from here. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." "What's your name?" Ryan asked. She looked down. "Lyra." "That's not a common name," Ryan said. "Where are you from?" Lyra looked at the sky. "Far away, very far." Ryan smiled a little. "Like Islamabad far, or Mars far." She looked at him, serious. Ryan stopped smiling. "Wait, are you serious?" Lyra didn't answer. She closed her eyes. For a moment, her body was weak. She was cold, hungry, and scared. Ryan took off his jacket and gave it to her. She didn't say thank you, but she wrapped it around her. "I'll take you somewhere warm," Ryan said. "You'll freeze here." She nodded slowly. Ryan helped her stand up. Her body felt light, almost too light. Suddenly, a sound broke. The silence. A car engine from behind the trees. Ryan saw headlights. A black SUV was moving slowly toward them. Lyra looked terrified. "They found me," she whispered. "We have to go." "Who?" Ryan asked. "Who's following you?" But she didn't answer. She was looking at the car with wide eyes. Ryan grabbed her hand. "Come on." They ran into the woods, deeper and deeper, their feet sinking in snow. The SUV stopped where they were a minute ago. A man stepped out, wearing a long black coat and dark glasses. He looked around and spoke into a walkie-talkie. "Target is close. Move in silently." Ryan and Lyra reached his house and entered quietly through the back. He took her to the basement. Where it was warm, he gave her a blanket and water. She sat on the floor, looking tired. Ryan sat across from her. "Lyra," he said, "tell me the truth. Who are you?" She looked at him. "I'm not from your world." Ryan froze. "You mean you're an alien?" She nodded slowly. "But I'm not here to hurt anyone," she added. "I'm hiding. I came for something important, and now they're after me." "Who are they?" "Men in black coats," she said. "They want my technology, if they get it. Your world is in danger." Ryan didn't know what to say. This felt like a dream, but it was real. Too real. I'll help you, he said finally. I don't know why, but I believe you. She looked into his eyes and whispered, "Thank you." Suddenly, they heard a soft beep. Lyra checked her small device. Her face turned pale. "They're near," she said. Outside, the sound of footsteps echoed in the snow. The agents were here. The basement was quiet. Only the soft sound of an old heater filled the air. Rayan sat on the floor, his back against the wall. Across from him, the strange girl Lyra was sitting, wrapped in his old blanket. Her silver hair looked almost white in the dim light. Her eyes were closed, but her body wasn't sleeping. It was still. Too still. Rayan had never seen someone like her. No shoes. No winter clothes, skin pale like snow. And those glowing blue eyes, they didn't seem human. He whispered to himself, "Who are you really?" Suddenly Lyra opened her eyes. "I can hear them," she said. Rayan looked around. "Who?" "The men outside. Their hearts are fast. One of them is angry. One is afraid." Rayan froze. "You can hear their hearts?" She nodded. Then she pulled something from under her blanket, a small crystal-shaped device, no bigger than a coin. She held it in her palm. It floated a few inches above her skin and began to glow. "What is that?" Rayan asked, amazed. "It's part of my memory," Lyra said. "But it's broken. I crashed during landing, that night in the snow." Soft hum came from the device. It projected a 3D map into the air stars, planets, and strange symbols Rayan couldn't read. Rayan blinked. "Is this space?" "It's where I'm from," she said. "My world is dying. I came to Earth to look for something. A message, a sign, something left here a long time ago." Rayan stared at the stars in the projection. "You're not human. You really are from out there." Lyra didn't smile. "I didn't want you to find out like this." He walked closer slowly. "Why are they chasing you?" "The men in black coats?" "They want this," she said, closing her fist over the device. "They know I'm here. They don't understand it. But they know it's not from this planet." Upstairs, Rayan's father was making a phone call. "Yes, I saw something strange in the basement. A girl. I think she's the one you're looking for." A deep voice answered, "Good. Keep them inside. Don't let the boy leave." Rayan's father ended the call, his face pale. He looked at the basement door. Something was not right. Back in the basement, Lyra was watching Rayan closely. "You're not afraid?" she asked. He shook his head. "A little. But I think you're lost, not dangerous." She smiled for the first time. It was soft, sad. "I was never supposed to meet anyone," she said. "This planet is beautiful, but cold. Not just the snow, the people, the fear." Rayan gave her a piece of chocolate. She looked at it strangely. "It's food," he said. She tasted it. Her eyes lit up. "Sweet," she whispered. "Yeah," he smiled. "It's my favorite." Suddenly, the crystal in her hand began to blink. "Red. They're moving again," she said, standing up quickly. "They're getting closer." Rayan heard a soft knock upstairs. Then a voice. "Open the door. Easy. We need to ask a few questions." Rayan's heart skipped a beat. He turned to Lyra. "There's a back door through the old storeroom." "Go now." Lyra hesitated. "They'll take you if they don't find me." "I'll lie," he said. "Just go." But before she could leave, the door slammed open. 2 agents entered. One of them looked directly at Rayan. "Where is she?" he asked. Rayan tried to act confused. "Who?" The agent walked to the basement stairs. Rayan moved fast, blocking the way. The agent didn't speak. He just stared at Ryan. Behind him, Lyra was hiding in the shadows. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. The agent took out a strange device. It beeped once. He smiled. "She's here." Snow crunched under heavy boots. A black SUV parked outside Rayan's small house. The headlights cut through the fog like two white knives. Inside the car, 3 men sat in silence. All wore black coats, gloves, and cold expressions. One of them tapped his watch. A red dot blinked on the screen. She's inside. The man in charge, Agent Farouk, spoke with calm authority. Remember, do not kill. We need her alive. He stepped out of the car. The cold didn't bother him. It never did. Inside the house, Rayan stood at the top of the basement stairs. His body was tense. His heartbeat felt louder than the wind outside. Lyra was below, hiding behind stacked boxes and old furniture. Her blue eyes watched him from the shadows. The door knocked again. Louder this time. Bang, bang, bang. Open the door. A voice shouted. Isai, we need to talk. Rayan's father rushed from the kitchen, confused and nervous. What did you do? He whispered to Rayan and didn't answer. He slowly opened the door. 3 men entered without waiting. They showed no ID, no greetings. Their eyes scanned the room like machines. Agent Farouk stepped forward. We're looking for someone, a girl, young, possibly injured, foreign. Rayan tried to sound normal. I don't know anyone like that. The agent looked straight into his eyes. We have reason to believe she's hiding here. Another agent walked toward the basement door. Rayan moved quickly. There's no one down there. Just old stuff. You can check, but Farouk raised his hand. No need. He turned and gave a small nod. The third agent took out a small silver device, no bigger than a phone. He pressed a button. It began to beep slowly, then faster. Beep, 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 beep. Lyra's signal had been found. Agent Farouk smiled coldly. Found her. Downstairs. Lyra knew time was short. She stood, pulled out the crystal device, and pressed her fingers over it. A soft pulse spread through the basement. A sound like wind and whisper. She touched her chest, right over her heart. A dim blue light shined under her skin. She was activating something. Upstairs, the agent rushed toward the basement door. But suddenly, a bright light burst from below. Boom. The light flashed through the cracks in the stairs. The men shouted, covering their eyes. Then silence. No sound, no footsteps. No girl. Rayan ran down the stairs, coughing through smoke. Lyra? She was gone. Only the crystal device lay on the floor, blinking softly. He picked it up. The light faded. His heart sank. Outside, in the snowy forest. Lyra was running barefoot again. Her skin glowed faintly, leaving soft blue prints in the snow. Her powers were not strong, but enough to escape for now. I'm sorry, Rayan, she whispered to herself. I had to leave. Back at the house, the agent searched every room. Agent Farouk picked up the crystal from Rayan's hand. You don't know what this is, he said quietly, but we do. Then he looked at Rayan. And you're now part of it. He handed the device to the second agent. Take him in. Rayan stepped back. What? I didn't do anything. You lied to federal agents, the man said. And you hid something. Not from this world. Rayan's father tried to argue, but 2 men held Rayan by the arms. I don't know where she went. Rayan shouted. She's not dangerous. Farouk leaned close and whispered in his ear. Everything not human is dangerous. They pulled Rayan outside into the snow. His last thought before the car door shut. Where did she go? Far away, in a cave lit by frozen crystals, Lyra sat alone, her eyes closed. Her breathing slow. She pulled a small shard from her wrist metal. Glowing. Tracker removed, she whispered. But her hand was shaking. She was safe. For now, but not for long. The wind howled across the frozen hills. The snow was falling faster now, covering old footprints, erasing memories. Somewhere between the pine trees and white rocks, Lyra walked slowly. Her bare feet no longer felt the cold. She had gone beyond pain. Now only her mission remained. She held the tiny crystal shard in her palm. It pulsed with faint light like a heartbeat. It was weak, but alive. "This is the place," she whispered. "It has to be." Far below, locked in a steel room, Rayan sat with his hands chained. A single bulb hung above his head. The agents had taken his phone, his jacket, even his thoughts. Agent Farouk entered the room. "She's looking for something," he said. "Do you know what it is?" Rayan shook his head. "No, but I know she's not here to hurt anyone." Farouk smiled, cold and tired. "Maybe not now, but aliens don't come to Earth for no reason. She's a scout, the first of many. And we're not letting her complete her mission." He leaned close. "If you ever see her again, tell her we'll be waiting." Back in the mountains, Lyra reached an old cave half covered by snow. The entrance looked small, but it wasn't natural. It was shaped, carved, like it had been waiting. She stepped inside. The air was warmer, but heavy, silent that she touched. The walls, symbols glowed faintly under her fingers. They reacted to her presence. She was close now. She took out her star map device and placed it in the center of the cave floor. It hovered above the ground and spun slowly. Lights danced around her. A circle formed beneath her feet, a forgotten signal pad. She kneeled down and whispered a code in her native tongue. The cave answered. A deep vibration shook the floor. Suddenly, the cave ceiling opened like a blooming flower revealing the sky. A blue beam of light shot upward, invisible to the human eye. But not to those watching from the stars. At the EC facility, alarms began to beep. "Radar screens flashed. Sir, there's a signal," a technician said. "High frequency, unknown origin. It's coming from the North Mountains." Agent Farouk stood up slowly. He didn't look surprised. "She found it." He turned to his team. "Prepare the strike team. We move now." In the cave, Lyra's body floated slightly above the ground. The signal entered her skin like threads of light. Her memories returned. Her planet, burning. The Council, sending her. The message, hidden in Earth's ice long ago by one of their kind. Now it had awakened. She opened her eyes. "They know I'm here." Far away, above Earth's orbit, something moved in the dark. A massive ship, silent and invisible to satellites, turned slowly toward the signal's origin. Its systems lit up. Destination locked. Meanwhile, Rayan was being moved. Two agents pushed him into a black van, but something was off. One of the agents leaned close and whispered, "Keep your head down." Rayan turned and stared. It was his friend Hasib, a local hacker. "I broke in," Hasib said quickly. "I tracked her signal." "She's in the North Cave," Rayan blinked. "You're not serious." "I'm always serious when aliens are involved." They drove into the night, chasing the signal, chasing the truth. Back at the cave, Lyra collapsed to the floor. The beam faded. Her body was weak, but the signal was sent. She didn't have much time now. She looked up at the stars through the open ceiling. Now, it begins. Suddenly, she heard something. Boots in the snow. Many. They were coming. Snow exploded beneath heavy boots. Black coats moved like shadows across the mountain, guns loaded. Eyes sharp. In the heart of the frozen cave, Lyra was on her knees breathing fast, the last light from her signal fading behind her. She looked up. They had arrived, 10 agents. Guns raised, orders shouted. Lights flashing in her face. She didn't fight. She didn't run. She whispered, "Too late. The message is already sent." Then she closed her eyes. 2 hours later. The sky was still dark when Lyra woke up again. She was lying on a cold metal table inside a white room. The walls were smooth. The lights were too bright. Cameras watched her from every corner. She wasn't alone. Behind glass walls, scientists moved like ghosts, typing, watching, whispering. Her arms were locked with magnetic cuffs. Her body felt weaker than before. One scientist tapped the glass. She's awake. In the control room, Agent Farouk stared at the monitor. She doesn't bleed like us, he said. She doesn't eat like us, but she has emotions. That's her weakness. A doctor beside him replied, she's just a child, barely more than 20 in human years, maybe less. Farouk's voice turned cold. She's not a child, she's an alien. He paused, and she's not alone anymore. Meanwhile, in an old jeep flying over frozen roads, Rayan and Hasib raced toward the EC facility. Rayan had no plan. Only a feeling. She's in there, he said. I can feel it. Hasib kept driving. That place is a fortress, bro. You walk in, you never walk out. Rayan looked down at the small device Lyra had left behind. It still blinked slow, steady. Like a heartbeat. I'm walking in, he said, even if I don't walk out. Inside the lab, Lyra sat up slowly. As the magnetic cuffs loosened, a woman entered the room, young, calm, wearing a white lab coat. I'm Dr. Amara, she said. I'm not here to hurt you. Lyra looked at her with tired eyes. You already did. Amara sat on a stool. We scanned your body. Your biology is impossible. Half of it reacts like ours. The other half doesn't match anything on Earth. Lyra stayed quiet. Amara leaned forward. Why are you here? Lyra answered in a whisper. I came to remember something Earth forgot. Suddenly, the lights flickered. An alarm began to beep in the hallway. Agent Farouk stormed into the room. She's playing with the systems, her signal's still active. He turned to Amara. Sedate her. Now. Amara hesitated. She's not dangerous. Farouk's voice sharpened. She's a threat. He reached for the needle himself, but Lyra stood up. Eyes glowing bright blue. The machines around her shut down. The cameras burned out. The glass cracked. I don't want to hurt anyone, she said, but I won't be caged again. In the control room, chaos broke out. Systems failed. Lights flashed red. Security doors locked. She's hacking us from inside. A guard shouted. Farouk growled. Seal the building. No one gets in. Outside, the jeep skidded to a stop. Rayan and Hasib hid behind rocks, looking at the facility surrounded by soldiers. Hasab checked his hack device. She's definitely inside. But they've locked it down. Rayan clenched his fists. We're going in. Hasib blinked. Are you mad? This is not a video game. But Rayan was already moving. Back inside, Lyra was on the floor again, tired from the energy burst. Amara stood beside her, shocked but not afraid. You're not a weapon, are you? She whispered. Lyra looked up. No, she said softly. I'm a memory. Farouk entered, pointing a gun. That memory ends now. Darkness filled the hallways of the EC base. Lights flickered. Alarms screamed like dying machines. Doors slammed shut and opened again, as if the building was confused. Lyra was no longer just a prisoner. She was awake. She was fighting. In the control room, Agent Farouk slammed his fist on the table. She shut down half the grid. How? The technician beside him wiped sweat from his forehead. She's inside our system, like she's part of it. Farouk's face turned to stone. Lock everything. Full lockdown. But sir, I said everything. In the lower levels, Rayan and Hasib had made it inside through an old underground pipe used for water. Dirty, narrow, cold. Hasib whispered, Remind me again why we're risking our lives for a space girl. Rayan didn't stop crawling. Because she trusted me. Now it's my turn. They reached a vent that looked into the hallway. 2 guards passed by alert, guns ready. Hasib pulled out a stolen access card. You owe me dinner for life. Meanwhile, Lyra was walking through the halls like a ghost. Her feet didn't make a sound. Her eyes glowed gently, guiding her. Doors unlocked as she moved. Lights dimmed when she passed, but her energy was fading. Fast. She touched a wall for support. I need more time, she whispered. Suddenly footsteps. Soldiers turned the corner. One of them shouted, "There she is!" Lyra raised her hand. A soft wave of light burst from her fingers, just enough to blind them. She ran. Elsewhere. Farouk got the alert. She's loose, heading for the east wing. He grabbed a rifle and walked out himself. This ends now. Back in the vents, Rayan and Hasib dropped down into a storage room. The air smelled of chemicals and metal. Hasib checked the stolen map. She's 2 floors above, east side. They moved quickly, hiding between crates and corridors. Hasib hacked a door panel. The door opened. There she was. Lyra. Weak, pale, but still standing. Rayan froze. "Lyra." She turned slowly. Her eyes softened when she saw him. "You came." He ran to her, helped her stand. "I told you I would." She smiled only for a second. "We have to go, now." But it was too late. A door burst open. Behind them. Farouk entered. Gun pointed. No one moves. Hasib raised his hands. "Oh boy." Farouk stepped closer. "You were warned, Rayan. You chose her over your own kind." Rayan stood in front of Lyra. "I choose what's right." Farouk didn't blink. "She's a threat." Rayan shook his head. "She's a memory, a message, and you're afraid of what she means." Farouk was silent. Then he fired. Bang. But the bullet never hit. It stopped mid-air. Frozen in blue light. Lyra had raised her hand. Trembling, she looked at Farouk with sad eyes. "You were never the enemy." "But fear is what destroys planets." She dropped her hand. The bullet fell to the floor. Farouk was frozen, shocked, confused, helpless. In that moment, Lyra grabbed Rayan's hand. "Come with me." They ran. Hallways blurred past them. Doors opened just in time. Lights exploded as they moved. At the far end of the facility, they reached a launch pad, unused since the Cold War. A hidden escape ship was waiting. Lyra had activated it through her device earlier. Rayan looked at her. "You're leaving?" She nodded. "If I stay, more will come. They'll destroy this place trying to find me." "You're not coming back, are you?" Lyra smiled. "I don't know." She stepped into the ship. Just before the door closed, she reached out and touched his forehead gently. A blue spark lit between them. "A memory," she whispered. "So you don't forget me." The ship lifted. No sound. Just wind and light. It vanished into the night sky. Back in the hallway, Farouk watched from a broken window. He didn't move, just stared at the stars. The stars looked brighter that night. Rayan sat alone on the frozen rooftop of his house. Snowflakes melted slowly on his face, but he didn't move. He kept looking at the sky as if waiting to see something. Or someone. It had been 3 days since Lyra left. 3 days since the sky swallowed her silver ship like a falling star. But he could still feel her. Not in the sky. In his chest. Farouk, the agent who once hunted her, now sat at a desk buried in silence. He didn't speak in meetings. He didn't check the files. He only watched one frame of security footage on repeat. Lyra stopping a bullet. Without anger, without fear. And then walking away, a being of light. He no longer saw her as a threat. He saw her as something he didn't understand. And that scared him more than anything. Somewhere far away. Past clouds, past satellites, past the invisible curtain between Earth and the stars. Lyra sat quietly inside a small, living spacecraft. She held a floating orb in her palm. It pulsed softly, showing images from Earth. Rayan, smiling. Rayan, reaching out his hand. Rayan saying, "I believe you." A small tear slid down her cheek. Yes, her kind could cry, not because they were weak, but because they still remembered. On Earth, people returned to their lives. The snow melted, the news forgot. But some whispers remained. They saw something in the sky. She wasn't human. They said her eyes were like light. But no proof was ever found. And slowly, the world moved on. 1 year later, Rayan sat in the same spot, his rooftop, on the same winter night. This time, he wasn't looking for her. He was just remembering her. In his hands, he held the small crystal Lyra had left behind. It no longer blinked. It had gone silent after she left. He smiled. She kept her promise. He whispered. Suddenly, just for a second, the crystal pulsed. One blink. Then two. And then nothing. Rayan sat up. His heart raced. He looked at the stars. Was it her? Was she nearby? Or was it just a memory, saying goodbye? In a quiet galaxy, Lyra stood before a great council of light. She placed a single crystal on a pedestal. She was right, she said. Humans are not ready, but some of them are. One of them was. The council didn't speak, but they all felt something new. Hope. Back on Earth, Rayan sat still, eyes wide. As snow began to fall again, gently, quietly, he whispered one last thing. I'll wait.